could shine all the brighter against the darkness. John chapter 1 verse 5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This verse reminds us that no matter how dark the world becomes, God's light is never defeated. The struggle between good and evil didn't take God by surprise. He saw this battle from the beginning and chose to use it to show his glory in a way that would change creation forever. In Colossians chapter 2 verse 15, it says, "And having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross." By allowing Lucifer's rebellion, God set the stage for Jesus to come and conquer sin and death, showing us that his love is more powerful than any evil. Imagine a world where God had stopped Lucifer instantly before the rebellion even started. Yes, there would be no evil, but we would never see the depth of God's love in the way we do now. We would never know the sacrifice of Jesus, who gave his life to rescue us. We would never understand the fullness of God's mercy, which reaches down to pull us out of darkness. Through this battle, God's justice and love are shown on a scale we could never have imagined. Romans chapter 8 verse 37 tells us, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." God allowed this conflict so that we could not only see his victory, but also share in it. He wanted us to experience his love and to stand victorious with him. In the face of darkness, God's light shines even brighter. By not ending the rebellion immediately, he allowed us to witness his ultimate plan for redemption. Through Jesus, God turned the rebellion of Lucifer into a path that would lead to salvation for all who believe. His decision not to stop the rebellion reveals a God who is not only powerful, but also compassionate, one who would go to any length to save us. The fifth reason God could not stop Lucifer's rebellion is to reveal God's purpose for humanity and redemption. The rebellion of Lucifer didn't just set the stage for a cosmic battle. It also opened the way for God's incredible plan of redemption to be revealed. When Lucifer rebelled, he knew it would lead to the fall of humanity, but he also knew it would create the perfect opportunity to show his love through the greatest act of all, Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. This was God's way of showing us that his love is not just a distant concept, but a personal gift of grace and forgiveness. Romans chapter 5 verse 8 says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." God's purpose in allowing free will and the possibility of sin was so that he could reveal his heart to us. If there were no fall, if there were no sin, we would never understand the depth of God's love. The rebellion made it possible for us to see the lengths God would go to save us. Through Lucifer's rebellion and humanity's fall, God created a need for salvation, a need that only he could fill. He didn't leave us to suffer alone. Instead, he entered our broken world, taking on flesh in the person of Jesus. John chapter 3 verse 16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." This act of love was God's answer to sin, a way to bring us back to him. The rebellion allowed God to reveal not just his justice, but his mercy. Instead of condemning humanity for falling into sin, he provided a path to forgiveness. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God." This gift, this grace, is something we could never have known if there had been no fall. Through our need for redemption, we come to see God's heart, a heart that longs for us to be with him. This entire journey from rebellion to redemption reveals a God who loves so deeply that he was willing to let the world go through suffering so that we could truly know him and his love. Through the cross, God showed us that no matter how far we fall, his grace can lift us back up. He took the worst of situations and turned it into the greatest expression of his love. As we live in a world shaped by that ancient rebellion, we're not just bystanders in this ongoing war. We have a role in God's plan. We are called to stand strong against darkness, to be a light that shines in the face of evil. Through Christ, victory over sin and death has been won, and as his followers, we're invited to take part in that victory. Each of us has a place in this spiritual battle, equipped with faith, truth, and the power of God's Spirit. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 11 tells us to put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Let us live out God's will, standing firm in our faith. If this message has touched you, please like and share this video.